Rutgers to where you are now.
My name is Melanie Vangopoulos, and I'm currently a portfolio manager, and I run a long-short equities portfolio focused on the technology, media, and internet sectors. I'm a Rutgers 1996 graduate. I studied economics and Italian, and I'm actually a former LIBOR member. LIBOR is I'll just tell the story briefly, but it's very dear to my heart because it played a big role in my career path to Wall Street. So as an economics major, I originally thought I would just graduate and be an economist. But it wasn't until junior year that I took my first economics and capital markets class, and the light bulb went on. What do I do now? It's junior year. And so I joined LIBOR, and we were getting together and pitching stocks, and I realized that all the kids had an internship and they had something, and I had nothing. So I just started to hustle, and I got a job at a branch at Smith Barney. And then second, we took a field trip to the Merrill Lynch trading floor and to the Cantor Fitzgerald trading floor, and that was the other light bulb that went on. I said, I want to be a trader. So I graduated and I got a job at Smith Barney on the stock loan desk. It was the closest thing I could get to trading at the time. After that, I got my first real trading job as a junior trader at a hedge fund called Weiss Multi-Strategy Advisors. And then I went to the sell side at a small shop called Burlington, and later at JP Morgan. And it was around the time between Weiss on the buy side and the sell side, JP Morgan, that I realized I had a real passion for stock picking and investing. And I wanted to do more than just trade. I wanted to be a portfolio manager. And I started with studying for the CFA, and I'm now a CFA charter holder. So it was at JP Morgan where I met my future boss at Millennium, who hired me as a trader. I actually created this hybrid role for myself where I was doing more than just trading. I was working on investment ideas, and I was working closely with portfolio managers, with the people that I wanted to be like. I aspired to be in their seat and turn them into my greatest mentors. And after 6 years on the trading desk, I left to be a portfolio manager at a couple of other small funds.
In your incoming analysts, your incoming junior support team, what makes people stand out at Credit Suisse, at Oaktree, at Evercore?
Sure. Well, I would say just some really basic things you want to remember, like be professional, act with integrity, show consideration. Thank you letters if you're in the interview process. You always want to respond to it with a thank you. I replied to everyone, anybody that I interacted with. I must have sent 30 thank you emails. It really goes a long way, and it says a lot about you as a person that you take time to be considerate to others in the workplace. But I think most important is to really be your authentic self. So when somebody comes in for an interview or however, I'm meeting them, if they're trying to be something they're not, they're trying to be like the next guy, something they think they should be, that comes through. When you're being genuine and you're leading with your strengths, that's when you come into your power. And I actually know that firsthand because I got a lot of pushback in my career, and I was almost becoming apologetic about it. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't have that experience, I don't have that. And then finally I said, you know what? This is who I am. This is my background. This is my experience. And guess what? It's really valuable, and I will tell you why. And when I started to own who I was and just showed up as me, here's what I bring to the table, that's when things just started to happen for me, and that's when I stepped into my power and got the job.
The mindset behind your transitions from Weiss and GPM, very, very sturdy firms. Why make the switch? How did you make the switch? And would you do it any differently if you can go back and do it again?
I would. But it's a learning process. You learn as you go. I guess the decisions or the drive behind it was, every point in my career, I was looking to do what I was most passionate about. And I came out of school wanting to be a trader, and I really enjoyed it, but I wanted more. Which is natural. It's going to happen because you could be a senior in college now and you think you want to do this, but as you get out into the world and you experience Wall Street or whatever you're doing, things and you learn different things and you might go into another direction. Always make sure you're doing what you're following your passion or you're doing what you love and you're not following the money. And that's probably what, if I can do something over, I made two choices in my career where I was making the decision based on money, not on the job, and it turned out to be a poor decision. And if you just do what you love, and kind of to your point, the money follows. Like just go do what you love and be good at it, and the money will follow. I made that mistake once when I took a job and then I got there and I thought, this is just terrible and it was bad and I didn't last. But I think it's okay to ask more questions when you're going through the interview process because I've asked myself, like, what could I have done differently? How could I have found out more information before accepting this offer? So don't be afraid to ask whoever you're interviewing with, can I spend more time with people on the desk, on the trading desk, or what's the environment like? Is it intense? Is it laid back? Find out, and again, self-awareness, if you know yourself, are you going to mesh in that environment? It's really important. And second, to your point about believing in yourself, that is essential to achieving any career goal because there are a lot of people that, again, I'll say, they'll push back on you and you will get rejected on interviews, and you have to be so disciplined with your belief system and just block all that out and say, this is my goal, I believe that I can do this, I believe it can happen, I believe there is an opportunity for me out there, and just ignore all the noise.
When you joined that firm and the culture wasn't a good fit?
I lasted for 4 weeks, it's not even on my resume.
Answer. Moving on.
We don't talk about it.
Moving on. You must be a PM. Quick decisions. Quick decisions. Storied career. What would you tell your 22-year-old self? Anything you do differently in terms of your career?
I think finding your mentors at an early stage is really important, and Brian talked about that briefly as well. I did not have mentors, and that's something that I would have done at the onset of my career. So if you're just graduating, maybe you don't have the network and you don't know anybody, but as soon as you get into that first job, start seeking them out. Look for people that it's not your immediate boss. Look for someone that you respect and admire. Maybe it's somebody that you meet at a networking event. But find your mentors. Find people that, as you begin to make important career decisions, you can look to seek advice from them and you can have conversations. Hey, I've got an offer from XYZ Bank. What do you think? Or maybe a certain situation comes up in your career, you don't know how to handle it. You can reach out to these people. And it's not for them to make the decisions for you. Ultimately, you want to be able to make your own decisions, but have that broader perspective from people that have more experience and more wisdom than you.
Okay. Mentorship. Brian?
Melanie literally stole me.
Actually,
Because,
all non-diverse panel, and I appreciate that you guys are a leading indicator for what the world should look like, right? So I'm going to be a sell-side analyst and ask multiple questions. So bear with me. I want to talk about group thought on trading floors. So what it's like, I feel like to make the best decisions, you need to have a diverse crowd and group thought, and how you've experienced that. I wanted to talk about how you get a woman to run a bank in New York City. And I want to understand why you haven't created your own hedge fund. And how do you get to the buy side? Thank you.
So, to be fair to everyone in the audience, we will take the last question of how do you get to the buy side.
That's leadership, right?
And then post-panel, there will be one-offs, stock pockets. But for now, maybe just for Milwood and Melanie, going from the sell side to the buy side. For people in the audience now who are in this day and age, given it's a lot potentially more difficult than when you were making the switch, what advice could you give them?
So look, I think starting your career on the sell side is paramount. I think I get more and more emails that say, hey, I want to be an investment manager. And I think the sell side experience is very relevant and very important to making a successful transition to the buy side. So I think it's very hard to just go from undergrad and go right to the buy side. I think you do need to spend some time on the sell side. And look, it'll find you, to be honest. I think the buy side is great. Everyone will talk to you, everyone will meet with you. But like the decision-making process is without a schizophrenia. So it's really not clear how the buy side actually hires for the most part. But I would say, spend 2 years, whether it's sales and trading, investment banking, research, spend 2 to 3 years on the sell side and get to know Wall Street and the buy side on that side.
Sure. And then just, going from a trader to a PM in terms of, making a stop in between at JP.
I actually would like to touch on the same topic.
Sure.
Going from buy side, from sell side to buy side, because exactly to your point, I started as a trader. My first trading job was on the buy side at Weiss Multistrat, and then I went to the sell side. And I was at first it was a little bit of a shock, but eventually it turned out to be the best thing I did, because when I came back to the buy side, I was so much wiser. Because when you start on the buy side, you only have exposure to that fund and that style of management. When you go to the sell side, you're interacting with so many different clients. So you learn, you see what long onlys are doing, you see what hedge funds are doing, what fast money hedge funds are doing, and you get really great experience. And then you also know what's going on the sell side. So I wouldn't rush, if that's what you're looking to do, I wouldn't rush to get to the buy side. And again, to your point, that it will find you. I was on the trading desk at JP Morgan as a sales trader on the cash equities desk, and I was just doing my job well. And that's when I met my boss, my future boss at Millennium, who hired me because we were going to visit a client, and we were taking the train up to Connecticut, and I had just met him, and he was, just having a normal conversation with me, and I said, I'm sorry, I'd really like to chat with you, but I can't. I have to study for the CFA, so maybe we can talk later. And I wasn't, I was just being myself, and that's who I was. I was very disciplined about my career and my ambitions, and he took notice, and years later he hired me. So it will find you. You don't always have to actively be seeking